大家好，我是陈瑞玉。今天的主题是哪些食物让吃也会胖。Even when you're eating a plant-based diet, it's totally possible to overeat on the wrong foods. Everything is still about balance and moderation. So it doesn't change even if you're eating plant-based. So some of the foods like French fries or chips or too many noodles or sugar, a lot of candy. Those things are all technically plant-based, but they're actually still not that good for you. And so you still have to watch out for eating too many fried foods or processed foods, and try to stay away from things that are packaged. You want to try to eat foods that are whole. So it's like a whole vegetable or a whole fruit, whole grains, and foods that you cook yourself instead of foods that are made in a factory. So all vegetables are low in calorie and high in water content. So eating a lot of vegetables is automatically going to help you lose weight. But certain ones are especially good, such as celery or winter melon. These ones have such high water content that you're mostly just eating water. And so it actually takes more energy for your body to digest it than they actually provide. And so that's what helps your body then lose weight faster. There's also certain vegetables that are higher in calories, such as potatoes or sweet potato, corn, certain avocados. They either have higher carbs or higher sugar or higher fat, and so then it's still good for you. But if you're trying to lose weight, those are the more high-calorie foods. So maybe you want to eat less of those kinds of foods if you're trying to lose weight. So I mentioned that you shouldn't eat too many processed foods because these are foods that have been, so far removed from their original natural state. So they've, been through a factory. They've added a lot of chemicals, like a lot of preservatives. Maybe they've been fried so that there's like a lot more fat through the oil that they've been fried in, and so it's not even the same thing anymore. So you might not think that there's a huge difference between a fresh noodle and these instant noodles. They've been fried, so there's extra fat, sodium, added preservatives, and a recent study has found that the preservatives themselves cause weight gain. So what happens is they disrupt the hormones that tell you when you're full. So that means that without these signals to tell you that you're full, you're just going to keep eating. And so that's what causes overeating. And these are all the preservatives that are in processed foods. Really, the best thing that you should be doing is eating fresh. And if you can't make it yourself, then at least going to a restaurant where you trust how they're cooking. But of course, the best is if you're cooking for yourself. My best advice is that you should always be moderate in your lifestyle, because it's supposed to be for the long-term effect. And so if you're too restrictive, usually it doesn't last a long time because you will give up. And so if you feel like that you need to have French fries or you really want it, then it's okay occasionally, as long as in general your diet is pretty healthy. Then you can have a little bit here, because you don't need to feel guilty, because overall your diet is still really good. But if overall your diet is bad and you're still eating chips, then that's when it's a problem. So if you do still want to eat these high carb or high fat kind of foods, it's better to eat them early in the day, so like for breakfast or for lunch, and avoid eating them for dinner or late at night, because that's when your body isn't really digesting anymore and your metabolism is slowing down for when you're sleeping. Instead of, when you eat it in the morning, then your body is using that energy during the daytime. So for dinner, I would usually recommend something that's lower calorie, like either a salad, or you can stir fry some vegetables. Just anything that is still filling, like you don't want to feel hungry, but it's still low calorie, so that your body doesn't have to digest too much when you're sleeping, because that's when, personally I experienced when I was opening my last restaurant in New York. I didn't eat all day because I was, too busy working, but then I ate like a decent sized meal, not like too much, but I ate at 2 a.m. and all of a sudden I gained like 10 pounds, and I didn't understand why. And it was because I was eating so late, so my body didn't have any time to digest, and I was just sleeping, and so I wasn't using the energy, and so it just became fat instead. But it wasn't like I ate a lot. It was only one meal, and it was a normal size meal, but the fact was that I just ate it at 2 a.m. and so I realized that it's actually quite important. So people don't realize that it's not just about what you eat, but it's what time you eat too. So you can eat these foods a couple times a week, or a little bit here and there, but I would say that actually the more harmful thing is to have a bad attitude about food. You don't want to feel guilty about eating anything. So if you feel like you want to have it, then go ahead and have it. But just try not to feel like you did a really bad thing, because also when people feel guilty, then they feel like quitting, and they feel like, oh, it's not working, I'm failing. But it's okay, because just a little bit here and there is okay. And so you have to have a healthy sort of attitude about it, and that's what's most important.